Hello, everybody. We are so excited. I have my wonderful friend here, Christine Hart, who's going to be a model for me tonight. So let's all show her some love.
Good evening. Yay. Glad to be on.
It's great to have you. You and I have known each other now for quite some time. At least 10 years, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
At least 10 years. Yeah. So I'm so excited that you're joining me, and we're going to give everybody a few minutes to get on. And if you are just coming on now, if you are a guest, please write guest and who invited you. And if you are a consultant, write who is your director. Now, those of you that are watching on YouTube, we definitely would love to know who you are. And so you would do the same thing there, only there I would ask you to write your name out completely, because sometimes it just comes up as YouTube user. And I know that you're much more than a YouTube user. You are a real person. So we definitely want to know your name. That will definitely help us. And so super excited. Those of you who've never been to a skin happy hour, you're going to love it. Now, some people are going to have samples and some people are not. And so I'm going to kind of go with both. If you're a consultant, this is a really great training opportunity for you to see what's possible with customers. I have been in a lot of women's bathrooms since this pandemic started, and I've been now hunkered down for 5 months. It kind of seems surreal to me that I have been in quarantine for that long, but it has really opened up a really wonderful opportunity for Mary Kay consultants to really reach out to our customers and to meet new people, because this is a great time for you to get pampered and have a little bit of oasis right in your own bathroom and feeling good about yourself. So that's one of the biggest things I know for myself, is that I want to inspire hope and love and kindness, and just having people feel good and deserving of having a little bit of pampering time. So I think that's super important. I'm going to check to see if there's any comments. Let's see here. We have somebody put Facebook user is consultant is Ileana, but I don't know who that is. I will try to check from my phone because I have to do that. Unfortunately, it doesn't always show us the name of the person, so it makes it a little bit trickier. But I will go on to this, and I'll be able to see in 1 second. And we're just giving people a few minutes to get on. And we will get started. Let me see where we are here. Okay, comments. Oh, it's Paula. Hello, Paula. Now I can see that. So I'll be putting my glasses on and off. That's just kind of how it has to work. And do you understand what I mean about glasses, Christine? Are you in that era too now where I can't even read anything without my glasses, and if I do, I have to put my phone like this close to try to read it, and because I don't want to squint, because then they get the wrinkles. So it's kind of like, no, you gotta stay stretched out. So it's pretty tough to see nowadays. I am already at I think this is 2.5 already on my glasses. So it is what it is. But all right, we're going to give 1 more minute for people to come on. And if you're just joining us now, welcome to Skin Happy Hour. This is a time for you to learn about skincare. If you're a guest here tonight, you may have samples and you may not. It doesn't matter. It really will be fine either way. I am going to have Christine here be a model so that it kind of gives you an idea of what to do. Because if you don't have samples now, there's definitely going to be an opportunity for you to ask your consultant to give you samples so that you can actually do this yourself again. All right. So that's kind of the whole concept of that. And for the consultants that are out there, this is a really great training for you to learn how to get your customers pampered, even just from a virtual. So whether you're doing it on Zoom or whether you're doing it on FaceTime, WhatsApp, there's a whole bunch of different ways, video chat. There's so much. Like now the word Zoom means something to everybody, in the business world, we've been using Zoom for quite some time. But now it's become such just an everyday conversation is what you did on Zoom. And so welcome for coming to our On Trend. Those of you that are on YouTube, I'm going to assume there's a lot of you on YouTube as well. We welcome you to our live here. This is part of a group called On Trend Beauty Essentials. So if you're not part of that group, you definitely want to, let your consultant know so that you can be part of that. We have a bunch of tutorials. We do a lot of quick little pop-up beauty tips and life tips and things all throughout the week. And so there's a lot of information, and it's kind of like a feel-good place. I envision it as like a magazine, that you can't always just read the whole magazine, but you read the snippets of it while you're drinking tea or right before you go to bed. So that's kind of the whole concept of our On Trend Beauty Essentials. And we also put this live programming to YouTube because not everybody is on Facebook. And so if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube On Trend Beauty Essentials, make sure you do. And that way you'll have all the things that we go live. You'll be able to see it through there because we show that there as well. All righty. So welcome, Barbara. Barbara Moreno joined us as well. And so let me get this here in my banners. I am going to take that off now. All righty, because we won't need that on the whole time. All righty, so welcome, welcome, welcome. Christine, thank you so much for joining me. Why don't you tell us a little bit about you?
I've been using the product for a while. I'm extremely happy. It doesn't show my age and it does wonder for the skin.
That's awesome. And that is really what it's all about. We want to do maximum results with not a whole bunch of crazy things, right? So I know that you're definitely that type of girl that you want to just do minimal, but you want to get maximum. So yes. Mary Kay is definitely that kind of a product. Would you not agree?
Absolutely.
Yes. All right. And so, like I said, you have samples, right? And for those of you who don't know, I put little packets, together. Your consultant can do that. And there's a whole bunch of different ways. You can do it with just minimal skincare. You can do it with some extra supplements. You can add color. There's a lot of different varieties of ways of trying our products. And so if you have samples tonight, if you're joining us tonight and you have samples, you're going to lay them all out. I will be pretty much focusing on the 3D Miracle Set, the microdermabrasion, charcoal mask, and the oil-free eye makeup remover. And then I'll be talking about some other things as well, okay? And so part of what we do here in this Skin Happy Hour is really educate you on skin, because that's the first thing people see, right, is your skin. And so it doesn't matter what kind of makeup you put on. If your base and your skin is not looking good, it's not gonna happen. And so we want to show people the proper way of taking care of their skin. And that's really what I see as my role as a beauty consultant, is really to educate people everything I can about how to take care of your skin, because your skin is going to be with you forever. And we want to make sure that you're getting the right formula. You want to get the right combination of products, because everyone has a different need. So I'm going to show a little bit of a slideshow that I have, because I think it just helps to have a visual. I'm a visual person. I need to hear it, see it, touch it, everything. And so if you have samples, you're going to put all your samples out, and I will tell you everything that we're going to use. If you don't have samples, then just sit back and relax and absorb it all. At the end of the demonstration, you're going to be able to get samples if you'd like. There'll be a form that you can fill out, or just asking your consultant which products you want to try. And then you can either have a one-on-one with her, or by just rewatching this, you'll be able to do it yourself. And so that is, definitely makes it easy. So let me do a screen share here. And we're going to keep Christine and I on so that you can see both. And so this is our Skin Happy Hour. And I'm going to go right to the next one. So if you have not heard about our Skin Analyzer app, so this is an app that you can go right into your phone. It's a free app. You take a selfie. You kind of line up your eyes and your face. And it will actually determine the texture of your skin, the fine lines, discoloration, all of that. It'll actually analyze all of that through that selfie, that picture that you take. And then it's going to come up with some recommendations. So here's a little thing to know. If you're doing it for the very first time, that's really probably the best way of determining what the product is you need right away. But those of you that have been using Mary Kay for a long time, you may find that, if you're using a regimen that you think has been working and it's going great, and all of a sudden it's telling you to do something like botanicals, which is like for teens or young 20-year-olds, you're going to stick with your program, because that means that if your skin analysis came out as if you're a 30-year-old when you're 50 years old, you don't want to change anything, right? Like, you would definitely want to keep that the same. But this is a great way of just kind of getting an idea of where your skin needs help. Not everybody knows the things that they can do. They kind of lived with certain things and never realized that there were remedies for that. So this is definitely a very fun thing, Skin Analyzer app. If you haven't done it, do it, because it's really a lot of fun. So let me tell you a little bit about our skincare in general. Tonight, I'm going to really be focusing around this Miracle Set 3D, primarily because it's probably the one that fits most people's needs, and also because it's what I use, and I absolutely love that product. But I want you to understand that there's a whole bunch of different systems that we have. They're all Mary Kay compatible, which means like you can use all the different lines together. That's not always the case with other brands that you can mix and match. You always want to make sure you're using the whole line of one product, but even in our case, it is very customizable, because there may be some things in one that really take care of all of your issues, but there may be something in another one of our skincare lines that can actually help to boost it. And so I'm just going to go real quickly through these so that you have an understanding that by doing that skin analysis, and then by talking with your consultant, you'll really be able to come up with a great regimen of what will work best for you, depending on what it is that you need. And so these here, the botanicals, for example, this is going to be a line, like I said, for teens and right up into the early 20s. So it's not really anti-aging, but when you take care of your skin's going to look great. And so that is a real basic set. Then we have the Time-Wise Repair Set. I will talk about one of the products in there that I use. It definitely is part of my regimen. But the Time-Wise Repair tends to be for people who have advanced signs of aging. That doesn't mean old, right? Because you could have a 40-year-old that has a lot of sun damage and, crepiness and needs it. And you might have a 60-year-old who's just going to start using it now, because now she's really feeling like she has to kind of bump it up a little bit. So the Time-Wise Repair has retinol in it. And retinol is a vitamin A derivative, and what that's doing is it's constantly going to exfoliate, because you see you have different layers of skin, and so as the cycle happens where the skin gets developed, the cells, and it goes to the surface and it dies off, you want all those dead cells always coming off, because they're going to accentuate lines. So the Time-Wise Repair is definitely for that stronger, more anti-aging. It's kind of like the anti-aging to the max, which is something phenomenal. It's a phenomenal product. Of course, we have men's skincare as well, and this includes a cleanser, it has an aftershave, it has a hydrator, it has an eye cream. And these are really important because, men just figure soap and out the door and that's it. And it's important for them to take care of their skin as well. So it's a really great product line. Men were pretty much using the Mary Kay Miracle Set. They were just taking their wives and they would tell their wives, don't you tell that Mary Kay lady that I'm using it. But we can tell because you go through the product much quicker. I think that the men's line has really been a great complement to our product line, because it really individualizes to a lot of different people. The Naturally line, which is one of our newest lines now, we're really proud of this one. This is a product base that is all natural. So we have 4 products in there. The cleanser is 99.49%, and the essential oil, the exfoliating powder, and the beeswax moisturizing stick are all 100%. Now, you see, what most people don't understand is that there are regulations on ingredients that can be used. In the United States, we're really not regulated. No one's really regulating the beauty industry. So if you have somebody who's just cooking something up in their kitchen, there may be things in there that could actually be more harmful for us, and we don't realize that. And just because something says organic, it could have one ingredient that's organic, and it makes the whole thing organic or natural, and people think that that's it. So we have guidelines in Europe, and there's guidelines here in the United States. And Mary Kay abides by both. You know, we're in over 38 countries. And so Mary Kay is definitely innovative. We do all the research. And the particular part of the Naturally line that I'm really excited about is that we're actually certified to what's called EcoCert. And EcoCert basically means that everything about that product, from getting the ingredients to cleaning up afterwards in the machine, all has to be regulated, documented, and nothing can deviate. And so the great thing for consumers with the Naturally line is it really is something for those of you that are looking for something supernatural, real basic. There's not major anti-aging in that because of being so natural. However, it's going to make your skin look great and healthy as well. And so there are pieces in here that you might want to add to something else, or add some supplements to here. For example, our vitamin C serum, you add that to something like the Naturally line, it's going to boost up the anti-aging there as well. And then lastly is our acne product. And so this is for mild to moderate acne. Majority of the time, most people have acne because of clogged pores. That really is like a major part of it, or not washing enough. You know, a little trick that I always tell people is put 3 pillowcases on your pillow, and especially if you're oily, and every couple of days take 1 pillowcase off, because the oil from your hair and your face overnight is getting on your pillow, which is re-getting on your face. So that's something to think about. So all of these products here really have specific goals and roles, right? And so you could use one particular line, because if it fits, that's great, but you may have to use some other parts of other pieces of our skincare line to kind of just really make that perfect for you. All right, so we have to start off is always cleaning your eyes. Now understand, your eyes are very, very thin layered skin, and you definitely would never want to use face product on your eyes. You wouldn't want to use body product on your face. You know, you go down, you can't go up. But the oil-free eye makeup remover, and you'll actually see that it looks like it's an oil, but it's not. It's a silicone base. But what that's going to do is remove very gently your eye makeup and also clean your eyes. So if you're not a makeup person, you still want to clean your eyes. There's something called lash mites. Do not Google it. It's like really gross. But you want to make sure that you're cleaning your eyes well. The older we get, lash mites like to eat our lashes, and so we get, you know, thinner and thinner in that sense. And so the oil-free eye makeup remover is really the very first step of taking your eye makeup. You know, when you use that cotton pad and you go to clean it, how black usually gets all over it, somehow it stays on the cotton pad. So that to me is the best. Now, Christine, I know that you have a sample of the eye makeup remover. And so what you want to do with the eye makeup remover is you don't want to pull and tug your eyes, right? And we all tend to do this. And that's why we get the wrinkles here first. So you're kind of with your eyes closed, you're just kind of going in this circular motion and removing the eye makeup very gently. Okay, so that's like the first thing you do. Okay, now, the next thing I want to talk about is our satin lip set. And this you don't have a sample of, Christine. And so the satin lips, there's 2 parts to it. One is the scrub, a sugar scrub, and the other is a balm. And so the sugar scrub is going to exfoliate your lips and get rid of all that dead skin. You know, when you have lipstick and you have these little spikes hanging out, you don't want that when you have lipstick. That doesn't look good at all. And so you want to have nice, smooth lips. The colder it gets, of course, we have much more, you know, need for a sugar scrub for our lips. The lip balm now, that is going to hydrate all the way down. Remember I mentioned about those different layers? The lip balm is going to get right down to that layer. Most people get addicted to chapstick because chapstick is a petroleum base. It's only going to moisturize the surface, the top layers of your lips. So it's going to make you feel like you have moisturizer, but you don't. So you have to keep putting it on. This lip balm is going to penetrate so that it will feel really moisturized the whole time. And I know you've tried this product, Christine, and it's definitely a really great one, isn't it?
It is. It just makes your lips so nice. And you know, sometimes you see people how they pick on their lips because it annoys the extra skin. That takes care about it all. And every lipstick looks great then afterwards on it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when you're going to go kiss somebody, you don't want them to feel all your pinchies, right? That would be gross. So definitely don't want that. All right. The next thing I'm going to talk about, this is one of my favorite things, is the skin Invigorate Sonic Brush. All right, so cleansing with your hands is definitely better than not cleansing at all, right? But when you want to add an extra boost to that cleansing to make sure that your skin gets super, super clean, that would be the Sonic Brush. This is not a rotating brush. This is actually one that will vibrate, and it vibrates to a very, like, it's 200 oscillations. So that's a lot of vibration. And what that's doing is inside the pores where everything is kind of getting stuck, you have the dead skin, you have oil and makeup that just kind of builds up. Your pores can't close. It turns black. I mean, that's where blackheads come, some blemishes come. What the Sonic is doing as you're cleaning the surface is it's shaking loose what's in here. And so the products that we're going to be doing tonight, for example, actually help to clean that and draw them out so that you have clean pores. And, you know, we're beauty consultants and we want you to have clean pores, clean and disinfected pores, because we don't want people to have unnecessary blemishes. And most of the time it is a cleansing issue. Or for example, if you're going to use a washcloth, never use a washcloth that's already wet, because within 10 minutes it starts to grow a bacteria. And so you'd always want to use a fresh towel or cloth on your face. So this here has 3 different speeds. It's timed at a minute, so it will basically, you're just going all over your face. I definitely do the neck. I will talk about from the twins up because this shows your age. And so cleansing is great. I will give you a challenge that those of you that have it, or those of you that want it, when you do try it for the first time, only do half your face. You will be amazed the difference of one side to another. So this is something I use every single night. I first use a little bit of cleanser to get all the makeup off, rinse it off, and then I do another tiny little bit to really get it nice and sudsy, and you know, with my particular cleanser, because I'm oily skin, it will come out. Another little feature is the massage head. Now, some people will be like, all right, why do you have a massage head? Well, some of our supplements that we have, basically, when you massage them in, it increases the circulation, which then helps it to penetrate more and actually give you a boost in what it is that you're using. So if you're using our vitamin C serum, for example, vitamin C serum has the ability to multiply the effects of those skincare products that target discoloration or that target the anti-wrinkles. And so it actually helps to boost that up even more. And so by using the massager, aside from it feeling great, but it actually has a purpose of, you know, the vibration helps to actually increase that. So Christine, are you using this Sonic brush? I can't remember if you have that or not.
I don't have it.
Okay, so this is a really great challenge for you, that when you get it, just half of your face, you will be amazed. And I know that's part of why I love sharing it with everybody all the time, because I can see what it does for my skin and feeling really, really, really clean. All right. So now we're going to get into the 3D. So if you have samples, you're going to have this packet that has 4 products in a row, and this is our Miracle Set 3D. So it comes with a 4-in-1 cleanser, a day cream, a night cream, and an eye cream. So let me give you a quick little synopsis. Skincare has 5 steps, right? The first one is to cleanse your skin. You're going to do that morning and night. The reason you're doing morning and night, because we have 2 different products that we put on in the day and the night. In the day, you want to protect your skin. At night, you want to restore your skin. And so you don't want to keep on the same makeup, right? When we brush our teeth morning and night, we should wash our face morning and night as well. In addition to that, whatever your hair's been exposed to all day is on your pillowcase, and whatever's on your pillowcase is on your face. So that's another reason that you would definitely want morning and night to cleanse. Second step is to exfoliate. And I mentioned those layers of skin. That first layer, I call him Charlie because I can't remember which derma it is, but his role is to create cells. They move to the surface, and after a while, they die off. So when you exfoliate, Charlie gets the message, hey, we need more good skin up here. You always want your best skin out in the front, right? Also, if you don't exfoliate, it's going to get stuck in the pores, like I mentioned. And so exfoliation is a really important piece the older we are, because that process goes really fast as we get older. The third step is to tone the skin or close the pores. Now, it doesn't close them this way. It's going to close them this way so that the outside looks like they're smaller in appearance. And I know some people have larger pores, and I think you have large pores, right, Christine?
I do on my nose, yes. You know,
Okay.
one of the problems.
Right. So part of what, toning does is to help reduce those appearance of the pores. And by closing the pores, then it doesn't allow things to get in, because if it's open, all the stuff gets stuck in there. Now, let me tell you a quick little sidestep here about pimples. A lot of people pop pimples, and I know, don't tell me if you do or not. I'll just pretend I don't see it, because what happens is when you're popping a pimple, a couple of things are happening. One is you're only getting the schmutz, whatever we call it, you're only getting it from halfway up. The rest of it is staying deep down in that pore. It's going to get really hard. It's going to be much more difficult to get it out. Now, if you're popping the pimple to the point of seeing blood, well, now you're breaking capillaries in your pore, which is going to cause scar tissue, which means that when something gets stuck in there, it's not going to be able to get out. And so if you're using the right cleansing, like having this, for example, in the next product that I'm going to talk about called microdermabrasion, between those things and charcoal mask, you're going to really keep your pores really clean. And so blemishes won't be an issue. And that is something to really remember, that you want deep cleaning and you want declogging all the time. That's something that we have to work on all the time, because we're exposed to so much in the environment. 80% of our skin is really about the environment. 20% is genetic. I thought it was the other way around. And so you want to make sure that you're on top of things. Okay. Then the fourth step is to hydrate, and that's moisturize. That doesn't mean to add oil, because in fact, our day cream, even for the normal dry, is still oil free. Now, those of you that are oily, if you do not use a moisturizer, Charlie's going to think, oh, I'm dying down here of thirst. Let me just throw more oil out there, because that's better than nothing. So you actually will produce more oil if you don't use a moisturizer. The tiniest little bit, like literally, that's all I use on my whole face. I like to do this, and Christine, this will be a good thing for you to look at. I do it in the fingertips. I put it all over my face and then just rub it in, of course, from the twins up as well. All right, so now that sounded like a lot of different steps. The fifth one is actually putting on some kind of protection, which would be our foundations, our CC cream. But today, in this miracle set, I want to explain to you that those first three steps, the cleansing, exfoliating, and the toning, is all done with the 4-in-1 cleanser. The fourth thing that it does is actually help to even out the skin tone, because it illuminates the skin. Okay, so this defends, defines, and delivers, because with one product, you're getting power pack results. Now, next step that we're going to talk about is microdermabrasion. So Christine, if you're going to do this, you're going to actually add a tiny little bit of the cleanser all over your face. You're going to wet your hands, because it has the toner, it has the exfoliator, and it's a gentle exfoliation that daily would be great to do. You want to make sure that you have a wet hands or a wet face, so that it dissolves the toner part of it. Okay. And so gentle, up and out, not around the eyes. Those are clean already from the oil-free eye makeup remover. So you're doing up and out, up and out, up and out against gravity. Because ladies, 30, your wrinkles are going to start right here. We all tend to do this. We need to go in this way. And 40s, it's the forehead. 50, the wrinkles around the mouth. 60, it's the rest. And so we want to keep up, so that we keep everything up. That's the key. All right. So Christine, if you're doing the cleanser, what I want you to do, and those of you that have samples, is you're going to go ahead and do the microdermabrasion step 1 right on top of that, on one side only. So I want you to do your left cheek with the step 1. Now, step 1 is a really significant exfoliation process, because it has an aluminum oxidized crystals, which means it's going to take off the dead skin, and that skin that's about to die off, it's going to go ahead and take it off, because it's going to leave your skin vibrant and feeling very fresh and clean, and it's like the best skin out on the surface. And so when this is the first time that you're using it, we have you put it, just for the trial, right on top of the cleanser on one side, so that you can kind of get a feel how gentle you have to be. You do not have to go really rough. This happens to be a product that I use every other day, being oily, but most people would use it 1 to 3 times a week, depending on what your skin type is. So when you're doing this, it's a very light massage. And Christine, once you do that, then you're going to rinse everything off or wipe it off. I find the microdermabrasion step 1 is the best in the shower, because it rinses right off, makes it a little bit easier. Once you rinse it all off, then you're going to pat it dry. Now, we're going to show you the next part, pore minimizer. I'm going to go back to that in a second because we're going to do on the other side, one side of your nose, we're going to do the charcoal mask. So I want to talk about that a little bit. So charcoal mask has a natural ability to draw out like double its weight. It is really an unbelievable magnet. It has something to do with ions. You know, what goes in your pores is one ion, and the charcoal mask is a different. So it literally draws it out. So all that stuff that gets really gunked up in your pores, it really can draw it out. If you look at this picture, you can see that when you put it on, it's dark, right? And then it starts to lighten up, and you can see where it's light. Where it's dark, that's where the impurities are coming out. So it could be oil, it could be makeup, it could be dirt. And so just looking at the difference here, this is one application, this model here, being able to draw it out. So Christine, what I want you to do is, you did on the one side, the microdermabrasion. On the right side, just this little corner of your nose, right? Like a triangle, on the side of your nose. I want you to just to put a little bit of the charcoal mask. A little goes a long way. We have a really great applicator that you can put it on when you're doing your entire face. And this is something for sure, Christine, since you do have samples, that after we're done, you're probably going to want to go back and do the charcoal mask all over your face because you're going to feel like you need it. But it is definitely one of my favorite products to put on. It does dry really firm, so you kind of feel like you can't talk. But it's a rinse off. It is not a peel off. Peel offs are bad because you're going to peel off good skin. And Charlie worked very hard for that skin. So you don't want to have peel offs, anything that peels off. It also takes the hair out, and that hurts. It's awful. And so once that dries up a little bit, then you will just take a wet washcloth or rinse it right off. But here, you just take a wet washcloth a little bit, wait 10 seconds or so, and it wipes right off. Super easy. So how does that look? Because I can't see you now as I'm on the big screen here.
Yeah. It looks good. It looks
great. I love this part of the demonstration because this is where I share a little bit of my crazy story of how I got into Mary Kay, because people with a black, half their nose black, aren't going anywhere. So you're kind of stuck waiting. And so let me just share with you a little bit about, let me actually go on to here because we can go back to this here, make it easier. Okay, we'll do this. Oh, isn't that great? Oh, did you do one half of your nose, right?
Yeah.
One half of your nose? Okay. So I started my Mary Kay business 23 and a half years ago. Now, what you have to understand about me is that I am first generation American. I am, my parents are Cuban immigrants. I really never did very well in school. I didn't get good grades. My role in my dysfunctional family was to be cute, and I was told I wasn't college material in high school. And so little by little, I started to realize that no one can really tell me what I could do and not do. And so I went to college. I ended up getting a doctorate. I ended up being, a school psychologist for 6 years, got the doctorate, then became a clinical psychologist. Got introduced to Mary Kay just kind of by moving into my home, and there was this program about, welcoming you to the neighborhood. Went to my very first Mary Kay event, was very overwhelmed because, as you might notice, those of you that have joined us, we're real happy people. And so when I walked into a room with 30 happy women, I thought something's crazy here because women don't like each other that much. And so what happened was I fell in love with the product. I always had blemish prone skin. I never had smooth skin. I didn't have the pimples that were the outside, but I always could feel them under the surface. Clogged pores to the max. And so when I tried that product that night, it was one of those things like, oh, this really feels good. I also love the fact that I just had to pick up the phone, order it, and the little pink bag was on my door the next day. She was really great about that customer service. But that first night, she said to me, you would be so great at this. And you can imagine, I almost was offended thinking, are you kidding me? Like, do you know how hard I've worked 10 years straight at college after being told I wasn't college material, and you want me to go and sell lipstick? Like, that's not going to happen. Like, I know crazy, and that's crazy. Of course, I said no. But I loved having the opportunity of having parties and stuff. And I'll share some of that with you too, because there's great incentives for doing that. And so I kept doing that. Little by little, what I started realizing was that I could just come in as a savvy shopper, which was basically just to get my stuff wholesale. Few people that wanted it, now the people that came to my parties, or someone would say, I'd like your lipstick, and I would get it. That's how I started. I never intended to do anything like this. And it evolved into something so much more because what I found was flexibility. I found the ability to make a professional level income. But most of all, I found the freedom and choice to be able to set up my time. You know, this pandemic now, my pivot was a lot different than most of the women, because my pivot was coming into my office in front of a camera so that I could still have the impact that I had without going out. But you know what? I have responsibilities of elderly parents that have a lot of medical issues, and I'm the one that has to go to the doctors and all that. And so I have the ability now to help where I need to, but it's still my business. I need more money. I just talk to more people. It's really that simple. And so one of the things that I find so helpful in this business, because some people think, oh my gosh, I could never be like you. I get that all the time. Well, you know what? I wasn't even like me. And most of the people that you have seen here, especially the directors, none of us are the way we are now. This is something that you evolve into, because by helping other women, you actually end up helping yourself. You help your family situation. And so right now, can you imagine the teachers, and you may be one of them, that have to go back? You have no choice, because that's your mortgage payment. Well, you know what? In our business, those choices are really up to us. And I think that kind of freedom and choice is so important. But I love the sisterhood. I love that it's God first, family second, career third. You know, my kids now are 25 and 28, totally out and independent. I loved that I was able to be home when they came home from school. I was the one who was driving them, to the point now of being able to guide them as adults. It has really been an incredible journey. And so at the end, there's kind of like this little video you could watch and a little survey you could fill out. You know what? And it may not be for you. You may think, you know what? I just want to stay a customer, and we'll love you as well, because we need customers as well. But if this is something that you think, you know, I could use a couple of extra $100 a month, or a couple extra $100 a day, or you know what, like this could really like do things that it would take me years to do. By watching that video, it'll give you the information, and then you can talk to your consultant. So I know, Christine, you were someone that were a really good customer of mine, and when you decided to join Mary Kay, I know that you were surprised as well. What is the number one thing that you love the most about your Mary Kay business?
I love to get together with people and show them what the product can do, and then see their astonished face in the mirror. It's really worth it.
Yeah.
It's just like so nice to help people. And
yeah, a woman who looks in the mirror who feels pretty.
Yeah.
That's
very powerful, not to be underestimated.
It is. Well, we don't hear that enough, you know. I mean, most husbands don't go around telling you how beautiful you are all the time, right? And so it is something that the sisterhood, the family, that's what it feels like. That's great. All right, so let's look at your nose. Does it feel like it's dry? Yeah.
It feels dry.
Yep, you can kind of see where your area is there, right? You have the darkness there. So, and that happens. And it doesn't mean you're dirty or anything like that. It's just your pores absorb all of that. So you're going to take a wet washcloth, and you're just going to put it on, count to 10, and it'll very easily wipe off. So you don't want to pull and tug on your face, because that causes the wrinkles to come faster. And we don't want, wrinkles are enemies, so we don't want our wrinkles. All right. And you should be able to feel a difference immediately. I always tell people to do this. So now your cheeks should feel different, and your nose should feel different. And that's why I have you do opposite sides, so that you can, otherwise you wouldn't believe me, right? I feel like when I do it on my nose, I feel like it's skinnier. Like it's like, I feel skinny. Another little quick thing about charcoal mask. I had 2 huge mosquito bites this summer. Like they were huge. The ones that are like itch like crazy, where you can't have anything, like even my pants were making it crazy. So the second day of it being like super itchy, I threw charcoal mask on it. I let it dry for 20 minutes. I wiped it off. I added a little bit of hydrocortisone, and the next day it was completely flat, like it didn't itch at all. So it is a lot of things, poison ivy, whatever, because it's drawing out the impurities that are actually creating those skin irritations. So those are really great. So how does that feel?
Very clean. It's like, I can't believe that you have so much dirt on in your skin.
I know.
It really shows when you do the charcoal mask.
I know. And wouldn't you agree? Because now that you did that one little bit of your nose, those of you that have the samples or don't have samples, you want to be able to do your whole face now because you kind of feel like, this is my only clean spot on my face, right? Yes.
True.
All right. Well, let me go back here now. Now that we've done the charcoal mask, I'm going to go back to the microdermabrasion because you see there was a second step to the microdermabrasion. The microdermabrasion is going to take off all the dead skin, and the the charcoal mask is going to take off all the impurities. The microdermabrasion step 1 is going to take off the dead skin. The step 2 is pore minimizer, but it's actually kind of like replenishing back what we just stripped off our face. But this is the one that's going to help to make the pores appear smaller. So you would always want to use them as a set. Okay. The pore minimizer is a really great thing to use with the massager if that's the one serum that you're going to use. So by doing microdermabrasion and then alternating different days of charcoal mask, you will keep dead skin off your face. You will keep dead skin and goop out of your pores so that your skin will look its best. And that is something that using that in combination works really, really well. Now, the drier you are, this is probably a 1 time a week that you're going to do. The more oilier you are, totally fine, because I could definitely use this every other day. It is not a problem, and that's what I basically do. All right, now we're going to get into the secret in a bottle. Oh my gosh, this is called lifting serum. It is liquid gold. There's no doubt. This is something that I have added to my regimen, and part of the reason is because this has a lifting and firming. It's like Spanx for your face. And so those of you that really are just showing a little bit of signs of some, fine lines or whatever, that vitamin C serum is your thing. But once you start feeling either deeper lines or in general, you just really want a really porcelain and firmness, this lifting serum is the bomb, without a doubt. It is an awesome product. It really slows down the aging process, but it also restores and repairs those that really need to kind of like to catch up. What you do early in life is what's going to happen to you later on. You don't see the results till later. My skin that was damaged so much by the sun when I was young and foolish. You don't see it until 20 years later, and now the things that I have to do to my skin on a regular basis, adding the tone correcting serum and the vitamin C, I have to do all of that to make sure that I don't have the problems that I have. I do not get sun on my face anymore, for example. All of those things catch up with you. And so if you're playing early on and you're not doing things, then you're going to have to pay later and catch up. And so this is one of those products that could really boost it up. The brush, the microdermabrasion, and the 3D miracle set definitely are things that will help. Now, going back to the 3D, I'm just going to click real quick. We have the night cream. The night cream is going to restore. At night when you sleep, your whole body is rejuvenating itself, right? Our skin is going to rejuvenate. All of our organs are going to rejuvenate. And so at night, a different function for the product than during the day. And it's important. Some people think, oh, I'll just use the day, morning, and night. It's not quite the same. Like, it's not going to be bad for your skin, but you want to get full effects. So you want to use the products exactly the way they need to be used, because then you'll maximize the results. And so basically your regimen in the morning is to do the cleanser, morning and night cleanser, and then you're going to do day cream or night cream, and then you're going to do the eye cream. Now, if you're going to add the supplements, you're cleansing, microdermabrasion, then you're going to do the pore minimizer, the second step, day cream, night cream, and eye cream. Super easy. It looks like it took a lot here, but it's really a quick 1, 2, 3 step, just as it says there. All right, so let me fast forward here now. I want to share with you real quickly the foundation primer and the CC cream. The foundation primer basically is allowing you to have a very smooth finish. And I found this really great demonstration here. So on the left here, you're seeing primer with foundation, and then you're seeing foundation alone. So you see the foundation kind of like bleeds through. So it's almost like a transparent. You're not getting the full coverage. Not only that, but with the foundation primer first, you're actually going to have a really, really great finish. It's going to hold on to the foundation. And I love this blending brush. I think I have it here. The blending brush is really a great way of putting product on, and it becomes really even. I can't find it. I want to go through all that. It is a great way of just making it smooth and a texture that makes it look very natural. So those are really great products. And so when you're doing skincare, this is the fifth step. This is the prepping your skin to protect it, because with the foundation on or the CC cream, and the CC cream is corrective cream. So that has a sunscreen, it has a moisturizer, and it also has some color. But it really does a great job, lightweight in covering, right? But what's important is that when you're protecting your skin, all the microorganisms that are in the air that are trying to get onto your cells and kind of mess up your cells, the foundation is going to help as a shield. That's why it's the last step of skincare. And people think it's makeup. Yes, but there's a purpose to it, because everything you've done to your skin to prep it, now you've protected from the environment. And that's really the key. So I think that it's one of, Hollywood's best kept secret is using that. Now, this here, what I talked today, was pretty much all about not makeup. It's all about skincare, which is really important. And so I would love for you to tell me one of your aha moments, because I love teaching skincare. And so what you learned from it, that's what I want to get from. So Christine, and we always have them, even though you've heard my demonstration so many times. What is a aha moment that you had tonight?
The aha moment is always the chocolate mask. It's unbelievable what it pulls out. And I will try the lifting serum next.
Yes, lifting serum. Oh my gosh. And I'm doing a lot, Johanna, who talks about it, like she keeps it in her purse. I understand now. I was doing like 1 or 2 pumps, and now it's like, no, I need a little more. I need a little more, a little more. It really does a great job. So I'm so glad that you had a aha moment. And even after all this time, we love to give samples. We love to do free demonstrations. And so I have something called Pay It Forward, and it's a beauty session. Pretty much what we did here tonight, if you had samples, that would have been a pampering session. Without samples, it's actually instructional, which then means you can choose the products that you want to try, and then we can send you those samples. And so what I'd love for you to do right now, if you are a guest here tonight, what I'd love for you to do is to actually text 5 to 10 of your friends and just let them know, hey, do you want a free paper pack, sample pack? This Mary Kay consultant is going to do it. Of course, it would be your consultant. It wouldn't be me. If you're my customer and you want to try something, then it would be me. But it's just first 5, 10 people that come to mind that you think will really have fun. That's what I want you to do. And then once you do that, I want you to text them. And then when they respond, you let me know. And then we'll get those packets out to them. So the way that they will let me know is they can text the word free to this number. If you have another consultant, you would text that to your consultant. And then that way I'll know, it'll automatically respond that we'll get a packet out to them. And then they can either join at a skin happy hour with or without samples, or maybe we can get a bunch of your friends together and you can be a hostess. Because that is a really great way of earning some extra freebies or really great discounts. That's kind of how I went from being a customer to a savvy shopper, and then going right on into being a boss babe, because I loved being able to gather people together. And so we have really great hostess credits. And so one of them is you can get $75 worth of product for only $35. And then if you have more people and it becomes, one that has a lot of bookings and a lot of sales, then you actually can get a lot more incentive. So you're going to talk to your consultant about that. And so you just texted 5 or 10 people. And if they're all like saying, heck yeah, I want that, then that might be something to think about. Or the consultant can just individually reach out to that person. But that's something to think about. Next here, I want to share with you are some of the different specials, because there's always 2 questions: how much and when can I get it? And I want you to know that all Mary Kay right now, we have the opportunity to send product directly to you from the company or from our own inventory. And so it really makes it easy for the consumer, because it comes to your doorstep clean, no germs, no coronavirus. But at the same time, it's like that specialty, my product is here. And so we always love doing different kinds of promotions. And I'm going to actually ask you all to fill out a survey later on. This set is going to be on there, but you can rewatch this live video, and it will be on here. But this is kind of a way of getting your products at a discount. I don't want to call it a discount, but on a special, because it really is more than just a discount. It's really about, helping you feel like you're getting a good deal, because that's what I was all about. And so you're basically starting off with your skincare. These are some of the other options of foundation, but this first one is what I talked about tonight. And then there's some other supplements that we talked about. For example, here we talked about the charcoal mask. I didn't really get into the renewing mask, but that's something more for people that really want more hydration. Skin Vigorate brushes here, satin hands, satin lips, and then here the finish. And so we always like doing our skincare demonstrations, and then we like doing our color demonstrations. And the color could be like dash out the door, quick makeup. It could be, a little bit more office, 'cause that's kind of what I have on, or you really want to glam it up. Samples we can send you, and we do all those kind of tutorials for you. So the way that this works here is you would basically pick your skincare, and then if you want your foundation, and then the supplements, or even just a touch of color, if we didn't do that tonight, but you may know some things that you want. And so just check all these out. With any 4, you actually can get a 5th one. I better put my glasses on so I can see this right. So any 4 sets gets the 5th one at half off, plus the roll-up bag. And I want you to know that this 3D is actually considered 2 sets, and the repair, which I shared with you, is actually considered 3 steps. And so you can look at all of these different roll-ups and the different promotions that you have available to you. And you can screenshot it, or just have your consultant send it to you, and so that you can look at it closely, or this little survey that I'm going to ask everyone to fill out. That would be great as well. Now, remember when I talked about earlier of how crazy my story was and how I came into Mary Kay, right? And so part of that was really taking the time to listen to the opportunity, because even though that first day she said, "Oh, you would be great at it," I didn't understand what that meant. I do now, because I know that we can see things in people. We can see qualities in women. We want women who are not the sales type. We want women who know how to get things done. We want women who love the product and really want to make a difference in other people's lives. That's what we're looking for. And so the busy people actually are the best, because you know how to get things done. And so I always love this part of sharing this opportunity. If it's for you, great. And if it's not, you at least know what this is all about. And so if you have a girlfriend that says, "Girl, I need some extra money. I want to be able to go on vacation every year now. Life is too short. I see from this pandemic, I should have done all the things that I wanted to do." You know what? Can you imagine what $200 a month can do? How many trips you can do with that? That's why I love people to watch this regardless, because it gives you insight into what the business is about in case somebody needs it. But number 2, it also helps us, for you to give us the feedback. You know what? I loved it, or I didn't like it. You should do this. You should do that. We love getting that kind of feedback from people. So please fill out. You can actually, this number here would be for my team. But if you're a consultant, just text her Pink Possibilities or the word video, and then they will send the video that we have, because there's 5 different units here, teams that we have, and then they will get that video out to you, and then a quick survey. And that survey has a lot of information on what you liked about tonight and all of that. And that is part of what we love doing in Mary Kay, is making women feel special, and we love women to pass it forward. So I want to thank you so much for joining me tonight. Christine, thanks for joining me. It was really a lot of fun. This is the first time we've ever done this, right?
That's correct. Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yes.
And so is there anything that you want to add about, because I know, like, one little thing that I haven't mentioned is that right now it's only $30 to come into Mary Kay. It's a virtual opportunity, because you can get a website, and you can also get the program that we use to process credit cards. And so if you think back, Christine, when you first started, if it was $30, then would you have jumped on it too?
Very fast, I would have. It's just
really
that you shouldn't be missing.
Yeah, it's really amazing. So normally it's $100, but you get a huge kit, and it has a bunch of products in it that you can do demonstrations with. So don't get me wrong, that $100 had a lot of value to it, over $500. But now the ease of coming in for $30, getting your own product half off. That was my number one thing, was I wanted my product half off. And in addition to that, being able to change other people's lives by changing their skin or even just making them feel more beautiful. Would you not agree that that is definitely the best part of our job?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah.
it definitely is. It definitely is. So what do you want to add, if anything? Because I so appreciate you coming on, and I'm sure everybody else does.
I
Have
think I covered it pretty much. I think there's nothing left to say.
okay, great, awesome. All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming, and super excited to have you here and for me to share the Skin Happy Hour. And we saw skin and we saw happy.
Absolutely. Yes.
All right. All right. Well, good night, everybody.
Good night.